Living in Delray Beach, pros and cons, lots of pros and some cons that you're definitely gonna wanna know about. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to Life in South Florida. If it's your first time here, go ahead and take the opportunity right now to click the subscribe button below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you can be first to be notified on whenever I drop brand new content of what it's like to live here in sunny South Florida. If you didn't know, I am the broker owner of Reform Realty, South Florida Homes and Luxury Estates. And as much as I love to make these videos, I would love it even more to be able to help you with any and all of your real estate needs. So the information that you see popping up below is my direct contact information. I'm the actual person who's going to be answering your calls, responding to your texts and to your emails. Never hesitate to reach out if you have any questions with regard to any of the content on this video or anything real estate related. I love hearing from you. I'm literally getting dozens of phone calls from all over the country, all over the world in fact, on a regular basis because of the extremely hot market happening right now in sunny South Florida. And I'd love to hear from you. Lastly, don't forget to share this video with a friend or a family member, somebody who you may think that they find this video to be entertaining, engaging, and educational, which is my commitment to you in this series. Today, we're talking about the pros and the cons of living in Delray Beach, Florida. There are many, many pros. Delray Beach is awesome, South Florida is awesome, but make sure that you stay tuned to the very end of this video because I'm gonna go in depth about some of the cons of living in Delray Beach, and some of these cons you're gonna wanna know about.
Knowing is half the battle.
And to help us present the information, I've broken it down into 4 different categories: entertainment, parks and nature, cost of living, and last and certainly not least, location, location, location. So without further ado, here's the list of awesome pros of living in Delray Beach, Florida that you need to know about. All right, number 1 on our list for the pro in living in Delray Beach, Florida is going to be in the category of entertainment. And let me tell you, there is tons of entertainment in Delray Beach. We're talking about dining, whether it's dive dining or fine dining or anything in between, Delray Beach has it. When you arrive to Delray Beach, just off of I-95, that's the major interstate, and you get off at Atlantic Avenue, the locals call it Atlantic Ave, or for short, the Ave. What you're going to find as you head east on the Ave is a major strip with lots of restaurants, boutiques, nightclubs, bars, things to do. It's a young, vibrant, happening spot where you can walk and just enjoy people watching, or book a romantic dinner date, or meet the guys up after work for a couple of drinks and maybe some cigars. Atlantic Ave in Delray Beach is nothing short of a good time. And for a closer look at that, you might want to check out one of my other videos where I go into depth on a Delray Beach vlog so you can see some of the action. Some honorable mentions that you're gonna want to check out in terms of fun and dining are as follows: Saltwater Brewery, which is a restaurant/bar where they actually brew their own beer on site in these big, beautiful copper vats that you can go and take a tour. It's pretty cool, it's awesome, and it tastes delicious. Just down the street from the brewery, check out the Pinball Museum. This place is awesome. They have video games and pinball machines dating as far back as the 1940s. You don't even have to be a video gamer to enjoy this experience for a date, or maybe it's just girls' night out or guys' night out. It's actually a lot of fun. And if you are a gamer, well then guess what? You're gonna be enamored and probably spend a lot of time there because you can literally time travel from game to game to game, all the way from the 1940s to the mid 80s to the early 90s, Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat. Definitely one of my favorite places to hang out. You also might want to check out Putting Around Golf, which essentially is a miniature golf course located right in downtown Delray, just off the main strip. The venue is beautiful, well kept. The service staff actually brings you your beverages out to the course when you're playing. So if you want to enjoy a refreshing cocktail or a nice cold beer, then that certainly makes the putt-putt golf a lot more exciting. For honorable mentions on the restaurants, I highly suggest the following: Rocco's Tacos, Cut 432, El Camino, Vic and Angelo's, Tremonti, as well as a half dozen others that are very good restaurants, all of which you can expect a great time, wonderful service, and excellent food. Delray really is known for having superior restaurants, more so than probably any other city collectively and hyper-focused in South Florida. After dinner, if you'd like to go dancing, check out the following places: Tin Roof, which is both indoor and outdoor nightclub, Honey, which also is an indoor and outdoor nightclub, or if you want to kick back and relax and enjoy some melodious sounds near the beach, check out Sandbar, which is a fun little beach bar right next to the ocean. Now, apart from all of the dining and drinking, there are many other things that you can do in Delray Beach that are also entertaining. For example, you will notice that we have tremendous boutique shopping, be it for art galleries, shoes, swimwear, ladies' handbags, men's formal wear, not your average run-of-the-mill corporate store. These boutique shoppings have awesome selections, but pretty high price tags, just so you know. I would like to add that while you're visiting Delray Beach and you're seeing this dining and shopping, you'll notice that everybody is either walking or biking or skateboarding or rollerblading. Delray Beach is a very walkable area, and because of the beautiful weather and the beat of the city, you'll find it very easy to get around and a lot of fun as well. Don't forget to hang out in Pineapple Grove, which is a little side street just off of the main street, which has several great restaurants, one of which is El Camino, excellent Mexican restaurant and known for its local mixology, as well as the Art District. And near the Intercoastal, be sure to check out the Lady Delray Day Cruise. You can't miss it. This is a giant boat right on the Intercoastal, right next to the drawbridge that goes up and goes down. You can board the vessel and take a day cruise through the Intercoastal and see the many spoils of South Florida lifestyle. Highly recommended.
Are you not entertained?
All right, now our second category is going to be parks and nature. If you're not about the nightlife and the craziness and you just want to relax, well then this is for you. You're gonna be very surprised to know that Delray actually has 42 known parks in total. That's a lot of parks. Whether it's a small playground tot lot or whether it's a very large botanical garden, there is a plethora of green space in Delray Beach for you to relax in. Check out Lake Ida Dog Park. South Florida is extremely friendly to animals of all types, but we have so many dog parks and it's a lot of fun to get together with the family and other animals and let them run free and play in a safe environment, in a fun environment, and Delray Beach has their own at Lake Ida. Are you ready for a major wow factor?
Major wow factor.
Check out the Murakami Japanese Museum. This place is beautiful. My wife and I almost got married there. We're talking about Japanese botanical garden with bonsai trees and waterfalls, tons of historical Japanese history and heritage for you to view while visiting the museum. It's a wonderful place just to simply go and walk through, take some photographs, sit down, read a book, or maybe just hold hands with your sweetheart on a date. It's absolutely somewhere to visit and something to write home about. Our third category is the cost of living in Delray Beach as it compares to two things. One, locally to other cities nearby, and two, nationally as it compares to other cities similar outside of Florida. To be very to the point and simple, Delray Beach is substantially less expensive than similar suburbs in other places like Long Island, New York. Now, the reason why I use Long Island, New York is because most people will agree that it is a blue-collar, affluent suburb that many people feel can be used as a good comparison to South Florida suburbia. And so, when you look at the cost of living index, and when you look at property tax, and when you look at taxes in general, you will find that the cost of living is substantially less expensive in South Florida as a whole, and in Delray Beach as a whole as well. And that's a major plus, because let's be honest, people come here because it's warm, it's near the beach, the cost of living is lower, and now, more than ever, socio-political, economic, constitutional freedoms and rights. Yes, I said it.
And the truth shall set you free!
All right, and finally, the last category of my list of the pros is going to be location, location, location. And it should come at no surprise to you that Delray Beach, located next to the beach, right in tropical South Florida, we have some of the best weather in the country year-round. To sum it up, in February, it's approximately 75 degrees. From time to time, we get a couple of cold nights where the temperature could drop as low as 45 to 50 degrees, but that only happens maybe 3 or 4 days out of the year, and usually within a matter of 48 hours, the temperature bounces back from 45 degrees to 75 degrees by lunchtime. And so, throughout our winters, our tropical climate really is beautiful. And that's what keeps people coming down to Florida for the last 100 years or so. Now, of course, living in a tropical climate wouldn't be so tropical without being so close to the beach. Delray Beach has their own public beach. Electric blue crystal waters, white sand, beautifully maintained, an excellent place to visit if you want to have fun or if you just want to relax. It also opens the door for things like water sports, surfing, wakeboarding, kite surfing, snorkeling, fishing, and the list just continues to go on. So the combination of the beautiful weather plus the prime location of being next to a tropical paradise is what keeps us sun-kissed and active. And you should be too. I want to make an honorable mention because a very common question that we get as a realtor is, Joe, what are the school systems like? Well, I'm going to let you know that there are two good schools in Delray Beach. One is Murakami Park Elementary, and the other is Banyan Creek Elementary. Both are AAA rated, and in terms of the public school system, they're some of the best that you are going to get, subjectively speaking. And if I'm going to give an honorable mention to some great schools in Delray Beach, I also think it's important to give some honorable mention to some wonderful neighborhoods in Delray Beach as well. The vast majority of Delray Beach is known to have affluent residents, business professional, and very luxurious lifestyle. Some of those known neighborhoods that make the honorable mention list are as follows: Seagate, The Bridges, Tropic Isles, Lake Ida, Seven Bridges, to name a few. For more information on those neighborhoods, be sure, if you haven't already, to click the subscribe button below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified when I drop new content specific to each of those neighborhoods. Well, all right, now we've come up to the point where we're gonna talk about the cons. That's the negatives of living in Delray Beach, Florida. The good news is that the list is very short, and if you live in South Florida, you're probably familiar with some of the things I'm about to say. But if you're new to here or new to my channel, then this might come as a surprise to you. I don't hold back, I don't pull any punches, I don't sugarcoat anything, I tell it how it is. And so without further ado, let's talk about some of the cons as it pertains to Delray Ave as a whole in the entertainment category. Guys, all of the restaurants and boutiques and nightclubs and bars that I mentioned before, relatively speaking, are actually very expensive. Now, depending on where you come from in the world, it's really gonna depend on how this is going to impact you, but most people will agree that when they visit these restaurants or boutiques, that it comes with a very hefty price tag. I would highly recommend that before you go to a restaurant and sit down, just go ahead and pull up the menu online, double check to see if the cuisine is to your liking and if the price tag is adjusted for your budget and lifestyle. But for the most part, you can expect to pay top dollar for some decent dining on the Ave. Our next category is parks and nature. There's not many negative things that I can say about the beautiful wildlife and parks and nature in Delray Beach, Florida. The only thing that I will say is that in the summertime, the weather gets so hot and so humid that it's highly unlikely that you're gonna find a visit to the local park and recreation center to be a pleasurable experience simply because it's so darn hard outside. 90 degrees, super humid, tropical climate. You are sweating from the moment that you walk out of your front door and you get to your car door, and by the time you turn the AC on, if you're a guy, sweat's already dripping down your back. If you're a lady, your hair just went poof. South Floridians say that this is a minor inconvenience to live in paradise and go to the beach in December. So chalk that up whichever way you want. I still think you're winning.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Category 3 is the cost of living. When we compare Delray Beach, Florida, cost of living index to similar cities outside of Florida, we know that the cost of living is substantially less expensive in Delray Beach, Florida. However, if you compare Delray Beach, Florida to a similar suburb in South Florida, you will find that Delray Beach is substantially more expensive than other cities. And to simplify it, the only cities that are more expensive than Delray Beach, Florida are as follows: Boca Raton, Parkland, Palm Beach Island, Jupiter, and Wellington. Every other city in South Florida is less expensive than Delray Beach. So while you're most likely saving money by moving here from out of state, you will be spending more money if you're moving from any other city in South Florida to Delray. And that's good to know. And finally, the last category for our list of cons is location, location, location.
Wait, I'm getting a deja vu.
What could be so bad about Delray Beach location? Well, we already talked about weather in the summertime, and that's consistent for everywhere in South Florida. Let's talk about some of the undesirable areas that are in Delray Beach, Florida. And I have to be very careful here. As a real estate professional, there are certain things that I can and cannot say as it pertains to code and ethics. And so what I'm going to say is the honest, straightforward truth, which is going to help you understand something that everybody should know. There are some sections, subdivisions, neighborhoods in Delray Beach that are less than desirable. And in many cases, less desirable than others that are more desirable. And to be completely forthcoming and straightforward, if you live in Delray Beach, or if you've visited Delray Beach, or if you're considering visiting Delray Beach, I will specify by telling you, just off of I-95 on Atlantic Avenue, headed east towards the Strip, you will notice a gas station on the north side of Atlantic Avenue near the interstate, just before you get on the interstate. While that gas station is a popular place for people to simply fuel up before they come home or go to work, you should know that that particular location is a hotspot for both gang-related and drug activity. And as a result, one can conclude that the surrounding areas might not be that desirable for somebody to live in, which is also going to impact what the public school system might look like in the nearby area. So with exception to the 2 schools that I mentioned earlier that are rated A+, you should know that the vast majority of public schools in Delray Beach are not good. They are what most people will say to be undesirable. Like I said, we don't pull any punches here.
Just the facts.
Just the facts. And it is because of this that many residents who live in Delray Beach, Florida, may choose to send their children to private schools, or a hot new option, which is really not that new, it's been around for a very long time, homeschool option. And there you have it, folks. Those are the pros and cons of living in Delray Beach, Florida. I hope you found this information to be engaging, entertaining, and educational. Don't forget to share this video with a friend or a family member if you found it to be so. I look forward to seeing you again on the next series. Many blessings.